All right, guys, Gennady Golovkin kicked out of the SNAC program. Victor Conte. Now, let's kind of go back. Let's take a trip down memory lane. Victor Conte, right? You guys know, Balco, ring a bell? Let me read this real quick, okay? Founded in 1984, Balco, a sports nutrition center first located in California, blah, 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 blah. Okay, the USADA says he developed the banned steroid THG with the help of bodybuilding chemist Patrick Arnold. Pursuant to a plea bargain struck with prosecutors, he entered a guilty plea in July 2005 on one count of conspiracy to distribute steroids and a second count of laundering a portion of a check. He was sentenced in October to spend 4 months in federal, it says Taft Correctional Institution, right? Okay, so now, just to give you guys, like I said, look, he's pretty much like the father of PEDs, okay? Now, he's running a SNAC, gym. Okay, fine, he's on the up and up now. But a lot of people out there, giving Golovkin heat or whatever it may be, for getting kicked out of the program. Now, let's read what happened here. I've got it right here. Look, we got a lot to cover here. Let me read. This is from Victor Conte. We did our best to help Gennady, okay? But he was simply not able to do what we asked him to do, Conte told ESPN on Tuesday afternoon. In short, I asked him to leave our facility because he did not comply with what we had agreed upon before camp started. However, I do wish him luck in the future. And look, there's not a whole lot of news here, okay? When we're talking about, what actually happened. I mean, I've read blogs, I've talked to people, basically they didn't see eye to eye. Okay, and we also know Victor Conte, he's argued with Eddie Hearn in the past about, I believe it was Demetrius Andrade and Daniel Jacobs, about their techniques that they use there. Am I saying they're pushing PEDs? No, but maybe. I mean, I don't know. Who knows, right? Who knows? But, the thing is, all the clickbait channels out there gave Golovkin hell over this when no one really knows the full story, including myself, because there's very little news right now on Golovkin. And someone asked me in a comment section the other day, like, what is going on with Gennady Golovkin? He's MIA, right? Missing in action. We don't know. He's gone. I mean, we don't know what is going on with him. He's got the mandatory fight with Zermeta. Now that's being pushed back. He had a calf injury. That's really all we know, right? Go over to Twitter. Like I said, I've been doing my homework, guys. If you look over here, not active on social media, and I've checked out like Tom Loeffler. I've checked out like his stablemates. I've done as much research as humanly possible, and I can't really find anything on him. And I think it's really odd. We also know, a 6-fight deal. He's only 2 fights in. Okay, just turned 38. So the thing is, is he even going to be able to complete the contract with DAZN? Look at the Twitter feed here. This is typically, here, let's go back to tweets, where Gennady Golovkin is very active. He'll keep you up to date with what's going on, but really nothing. He's congratulating the Olympic team right here, okay? And then we can go all the way back to, February? So we got a tweet in February. We got another March 11th. Okay, we're already into April. That was nearly a month ago. And then, going a little bit further down, talking about, when Kobe Bryant, had that horrific, tragic helicopter crash. So not very active, okay? We don't really have much to go on. I don't know, guys. It's not looking good. Like I say, he just turned 38. Okay, number one. Number two, the whole coronavirus thing, I think it's going to postpone everything. Now, Canelo, let's get back to what Canelo was saying about the trilogy. The whole tune is beginning to change, right? The whole tune is changing. First, we're like, it's a done deal. It's going to happen. And now, okay, Eric Gomez, we're going to consider everything. It says, like I said, it's up to Canelo, Gomez said about a possible Gennady Golovkin trilogy. Well, that's weird because 2 weeks ago, it's a done deal. DAZN is making announcements, they've agreed to it, and we're going to move forward. It's really up to him. Now they're saying, okay, now it's back up in the air. Okay, we're going to bring to him all the possibilities. We're going to present everything to him, and then we'll make a decision. I know that the trilogy is the fight that everybody wants to see. He continued, blah, 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 blah. At least the fans have made it known. He says it was 2 competitive fights, so of course we want to fight. But yes, right now we're taking it day by day. There's other things to worry about right now. Okay, of course, I mean, sure there is, but, you know, life goes on. You know, whenever all this craziness goes away, you know, so I don't really like that statement. You know, so again, it's kind of beating around the bush again. You know, they're telling us that, yes, you know, we're going to get the trilogy. They even gave us a date, even AT&T Stadium. Now, we're taking it day by day. We really don't know. And again, radio silence from Gennady Golovkin. We don't know what in the hell is going on with this dude, right? It's crazy. That's Victor Contes right there. That's a comment from the Boxing Ego Champion, wow, channel that we'll get into. But let me read this, okay? For the Gennady Golovkin hating threads all up on his board at the same time, you are bleep being obsessed with a Golovkin stalking weirdo. So some fat-toed Conte, who is 50 pounds overweight and probably couldn't run around the block, kicked him out of his conditioning program. So what the blank what? Or so the blank what? Get a life besides full-time hating on Gennady Golovkin, worshiping Canelo 24/7, 365 days a year. Okay, and I agree. Like, you know, all these clickbait channels, here's one, you know, right here. You know, all these clickbait channels out there really hating on Golovkin when they know nothing. There's one article. And here's the thing, again, like I said, radio silence. There's one article from ESPN that pretty much like it gives the statement from Victor Contes. You know, he didn't do what we asked him to do. We kicked him out of the program. But it does sound pretty, you know, pretty belittling, pretty demeaning, pretty damning. You know, that he got kicked out of the program, like there was some altercation, there was like some type of disagreement. I don't know. Like it must have been pretty bad to kick him out. You know, he could have said, you know, well, you know, we didn't see eye to eye, so Golovkin thought it would be best to move on. Right? There's a softer way to say it, but we kicked him out. You know, I don't know. And again, like these channels out there, they're running with it, just running with it. And let me read a comment from one of these channels right here. Okay, boxing ego, please put more weight on the boxing part and less on the ego. You keep saying Darby and Checo won the fight against Gennady Golovkin. What qualification do you have to make, or do you have to make you think that you are better than the 3 judges of that fight? How many professional fights have you been the judge of? Right? These guys think because they run a YouTube channel that their opinion matters above a judge or whoever. I mean, look, you guys, and look, running a YouTube channel myself and being very familiar with these guys out there, I know most of them personally. They're not what you think. Most of what they do, they're reading articles, they're reading notes, they have very little boxing knowledge. You know, so a lot of you guys are looking up to these false heroes in boxing, like Ego. Okay, listening to you makes me want to throw up. You are full of sentiment and very little facts. Listen to your voice without judgment. You will understand what I meant. Please take this as an advice to improve your channel and gain more subs. Now, we also heard, okay, I think Ego is about to do some video gaming. You know, if you go look at his channel, here's the thing. Let me just talk about this for 1 minute and we'll get back to Gennady Golovkin. How is it you have nearly 250,000 subs, okay? We're talking about Ego, the channel, Ego's Boxing. But all the videos have 1,000 views. I just looked at one, 400 views. You know, maybe 2,000. I think in the last month, he had one video hit 18,000. And look, that's nothing on YouTube, nothing. His average viewership, okay, if you go back for 30 days, is somewhere in the ballpark of 3,000 to 5,000, which again is nothing on YouTube. You need to get into the hundreds of thousands to make it on YouTube, or even multiple tens of thousands, 20, 30, 40,000 on average. You know, the average watch time on his channel is very low. You know, so that's the thing. How do you have 250,000 people subbing to your channel? Right? That's a lot of damn people. But if you look at my views, they're not far off your own. My views are about half of what his are, and I don't even have 10,000 subs. I mean, now put that into perspective. Really let that soak in for a minute, and I'm going to repeat it. Okay, you're looking at a channel right now with about 10,000 subs, but look at my views. It's about half, 40 to 50% of what his channel has with 500,000 subs. I mean, what does that tell you? It tells you the content isn't very good. You can't keep, you know, your fan base interested. You can't, you know, you can't maintain your audience, right? Why? Because it's the same old gimmick. You know, hate on Golovkin, support Deontay Wilder. Hate on Pacquiao, support Mayweather. You know, basically, channels like that, they're painting themselves into a corner. And, you know, they're too naive or dumb to get out of it, because the thing is, you know, they do have talent, and they do have a good platform, and they know how to work their way around YouTube, but they are their own worst enemy. And I actually told Ego that one time. I literally told him what I just told you. You know, I said, you know, look, dude, if you'd stopped acting like that, like, you could have one of the biggest channels on, you know, on YouTube, the biggest boxing channels on YouTube. And, you know, a lot of people refer to Ego as the biggest boxing channel on YouTube, but if you look at the numbers, he's not. I mean, even the smaller upcoming channels get more views than him. You know, he's just been doing it so long, it's you know, that name recognition. So anyway, enough about that. So looking at the news here, so I put in Gennady Golovkin news. Golovkin still at force at middleweight. Okay, right. These are little keep busy articles. Okay, Teddy Atlas, Golovkin is a shot fighter. Okay, 6 days ago. Canelo worries about being a counterpuncher, blah, blah, blah. Gennady Golovkin next fight, eyeing Canelo rematch. Okay, when is he returning? Like I said, right now, and look, you could probably say it's because of what's going on in the world with the virus and things like that. But no, Golovkin was missing in action before the virus, okay? Way before. You know, the problems with the IBF, rescheduling the mandatories and all of that. And look at the DAZN deal, okay? A 6-fight deal. He's only had 2 fights. He's got 4 to go, just turned 38. Now think about that. Let's say there's no more fights in 2020. So that means he's going to be, you know, 39 years old in 2021, and he has 4 fights to go. Right? So if he does 2 fights in 2021, then 2022, and when he finishes the contract, he'll be, what, 40, 41? I mean, depending on what happens. So basically, by the end of this right here, that 6-fight deal for 3 years, he's going to be 40 years old. So how many more meaningful fights do we have out of Golovkin? I think maybe 1, maybe 2. And you guys know how I feel about it. I'm not trying to, you know, just be a broken record here. But firing Abel Sanchez was the worst thing Golovkin ever did, ever. I mean, just look at the decline. Look at the decline. Look at how competitive the Canelo fight was, and then go back and watch, you know, Darby and Checo. Even Steve Rolls, like, he didn't look too good in that. I mean, yeah, he got a knockout, whatever, but come on. I mean, that was a can. We know it. So, you know, what's going to happen, we don't know. And like I said, the dude is gone. He's vanished. He's not doing interviews, not doing phone calls, nothing. Absolutely nothing. We know very little. All I can tell you guys, okay, all I can tell you is, you know, what I've been told, which is he'll have the mandatory and then maybe a Canelo trilogy at the end of the year. But I think probably he might end up losing the IBF, although they might give him, you know, a little bit of leniency because of what's going on in the world. And maybe, you know, he'll pay off Zermeta, give him, you know, a little step aside money. You guys, I'm sure a lot of you know that phrase, step aside money. Okay, kind of like Cotto did. But I'm just saying, maybe that'll happen, and then we go right into that trilogy. But I also see it like a fuse. That fuse is burning, right? That trilogy fuse, and it's about to die out. It's about to die out. Like, they need to make it happen. And I don't like how they keep, you know, telling us it's a done deal. It's going to happen. You know, agreements made and negotiations are finalized. AT&T Stadium, and then, well, we don't really know. You know, we're kind of taking it day by day. I mean, isn't that some golden boy shit right there, right? Isn't that some golden boy shit? You know, to tell you one thing, it's like talking out of both sides of your mouth. Like, oh yeah, we're going to do it. Well, we really don't know. You know, that's like an old Texas term. I don't know if you guys heard of that. Talking out of both sides of your mouth. Contradicting yourself, and that's exactly what's going on. So, I don't know, guys. If you know something more than me, you tell me. I've been scouring the internet for 2 days. I mean, like I said, I've been over every Twitter feed. I've done everything I can do to find any information on what is going on with this dude, and there's nothing other than a calf injury and, you know, getting kicked out, you know, the whole Victor Contes thing, and that's basically it. I mean, there's nothing more. I mean, bad news right here. Bad news for Gennady Golovkin reports. Has a calf injury, postponing his fight, blah, blah, has been removed from SNAC program for failure to comply with agreed upon requirements, okay? And again, this is coming from a channel with nearly 500,000 subs, but my views are damn near what his are. So go figure, guys. So look, I'm going to leave it at that. You know, you guys wanted me to do a Golovkin update. That's it. I don't mean to disappoint, but there's nothing more than that. You know, you want my opinion? I mean, I'll say it again. My opinion, you know, I think, you know, that I don't know. We might get the trilogy. Okay. But now they're talking about, you know, as far as the zone goes, that they're not going to broadcast another fight until like the, you know, mid or to the end of summer, June, July, August. So even if, you know, even if he did have that IBF mandatory, that would push the trilogy November, December, January 2021. So again, that fuse, I believe, is going to go out. And I think, let me end it here. We may never get it. And to be honest, I really don't care. You know, I mean, yeah, I'd like to see it. You know, a lot of people are claiming, you know, that Golovkin can pull it off. I mean, there's a possibility, things like that. I mean, sure, there's always a possibility, but I mean, the odds are completely stacked against him, you know. And by the way, next video, and I don't get a lot of views on this, but Lomachenko Teofimo Lopez, okay, dude blowing up, gaining a lot of weight. We're talking about Teofimo Lopez just blowing up like a balloon, okay? And of course, like I said, these same, you know, biased channels out there are hating all over the dude, right? But meanwhile, they say nothing about Spence or other guys, Gervonta Davis, Tank Davis, blowing up in weight, you know? So, I don't know. Anyway, but look, I'll just sit back and laugh and look at my views and look at theirs because, you know, my little bitty, teensy-weensy little bitty channel is competitive with a channel with 500,000 subs. That should tell you something, guys. All right, leave a comment below. Thank you for watching. And look, you guys stay safe out there. I know it's a hard time right now, so hopefully you're enjoying the videos. I'm trying to do one a day, you know, but a lot of times I'll upload them after midnight, so it'll say 2 days, but it's one a day. All right, guys.